What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the DXY today and how it pertains to the overall bullish sentiment of the crypto markets. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? Here we are. Here we are on the DXY. If you don't know, if you're not aware of what the DXY is, you know what? Let's just ask Grok what the DXY is. What is the DXY? It's a basket of cryptos weighed against the dollar. I said basket. What is the basket? What is the DXY? There we go. Yes. All these ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cryptos that it's weighed against. There's all that. If you want to read that, you can just pause this and read that there. I don't need to tell you what it is. I can probably read slower than you can read it in your head anyways, right? I have like the reading speed of a 8-year-old. Probably 8-year-olds can read faster than me, man. Genuinely, I don't know why. I can do math really fast, but I can't read that fast. As fast as I read out loud, that's as fast as I read in my head, man. Anyways, we've got this lower trend, this downward sloping trend in the DXY. We have just hit the oversold zone on a daily time frame as of the last 2 days. Actually, as of now, yes, because this day is still open. So literally, as of yesterday, we hit the oversold zone. You guys, things are just getting started. I want to make things clear. Okay, this is something that you probably won't hear anywhere else whenever it comes to the DXY and the relationship with the RSI, right? Because a lot of people they mistake this. Whenever you get oversold, they think, okay, the DXY is going to move up. Well, when you get overbought, okay, it's time to move down. And sometimes it's that simple, but oftentimes it's not. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been oversold on the DXY. It was since August of 2024. So let's look back and see what that relation was whenever it had been a while since we've been oversold this time, right? So here it was March 2024. It had been a while since we'd been oversold. Here, the last iteration was in August, but that was the end of this oversold reading. What happens when it's been a while? You've been overbought. You come down to your oversold zone. What happens when you first get down there? Well, obviously it bounces. You can see that. Okay, you were overbought. Now you're in your oversold zone. Maybe we bounce, but let's just look at what the DXY does. Okay, the DXY, as soon as you got into the oversold zone, right here on this day. Come on, why is it not? There we go. You did bounce the next day. You moved up 0.16%. You moved a little bit lower, progressed lower, and then here, once you got out of the oversold zone, you just basically moved sideways. But this was your first taste of being oversold, and what happened? You continued for about, let's see, how much time was that on a daily perspective? You continued to move down. You didn't start moving up again for about 77 days. 55 bars on a daily time frame, but this doesn't include holidays and weekends. So 77 days. That's about 2.5 months. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, that's about 2.5 months. Which, if you think about it, would imply then that we have probably around 2.5 months or so, or at least a month if we cut this in half, some significant amount of time left in moving down. And I don't know about you guys, but we're doing this with more attitude than we did last time. I'm assuming that this drop down is going to be a little bit more significant. It might be at a faster pace and potentially even take us to lower lows, which would be phenomenal. But just to show you, getting oversold and then getting out of the oversold zone, even if you're in a downtrend, does not necessarily mean that you're done moving down yet. You are coming to the end of your downtrend in the RSI, but that doesn't mean that you're ready to break out just yet, right? You have to wait for things to kind of level out. And here we are just getting started, I think, being oversold right now. I think we are just getting started with this move down. And you can see clearly in the price, when are things just getting started? Boom, right now, things are just getting started. So probably for the next couple months or more, I would expect that we are going to see the DXY continue to drop. That's all I'm trying to say there. How far is it going to drop, and what's that relation to Bitcoin? I don't know, right? There's no real way to measure if the DXY drops 11%, 10%, 8%, that reflects in a certain amount of price growth for Bitcoin. Maybe there is, but I'm just unaware of it, or I don't care enough to do the math on that. If we're looking at this, and I've done this before, I've done this so many times, you guys. I did this in the last video that I talked about this, I think yesterday. If we look at the DXY, for all it's worth, we're on the monthly time frame here, okay? It has been in a downtrend for most of its life, and of course it is. The dollar is a inflationary asset with times of growth, with times of decay, inflationary asset, but versus other crypto, or not other cryptos, versus other currencies like the Canadian dollar, British pound, Japanese yen, euro, all these things, right? Versus that, it's been in an uptrend. It's been in an uptrend since 2008. We've been in a very firm uptrend, higher lows. We've got higher highs, the whole shebang, man. It's a very perfect looking uptrend, actually. I just haven't drawn it perfectly because I have the damn magnet on there. There you go. It's a very nice parallel trend all the way up. And we could drop when I said we could drop lower in these lows, I meant it. We could drop all the way back down to here, you guys, and I think that's what we're going to do. That's going to cause a very big sell-off. Now it's at 104, not $104. Just that's the 104 read. A move down like this might take us to 97 or 96. That's not. It doesn't seem that significant, right? 104 to 96. It's not that big of a deal, but it is. I promise you, it is. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but when we drop, it's a big deal in the DXY, especially for the crypto bull markets or any risk-on assets. Oh, I love it. Bitcoin's moving up. Love it, man. We were at 90K whenever I last talked about it. Now we're at 91. We're moving up today, baby. I know it. What I want to address besides Bitcoin is that the uptrend here in the DXY comes with some very iconic kind of movements, let's say, or cyclical movements, I want to say. Yeah. From the low, we had what I like to call, what I've identified as an expansion phase. We expanded here from the low, and then we consolidated for a long time. We moved up, we moved down, we clowned around, whatever. Here we had another expansion phase, and then we consolidated for a long time. And then here we had another expansion phase, and now we are consolidating for a long time. It's been since 2022 in August that we've been consolidating, okay? Some people might be wondering, are we going to move up though? When's the next expansion phase going to happen? And nobody knows. Nobody knows, but if this one ended here, and it's very clear that, yes, we moved up even in times here. Here we've moved up this cycle too, but it's very clear that we were in a consolidation phase here. The next expansion phase didn't start for 68 months. Okay, 68 months. I think actually it's supposed to be 69 months. Yeah, 69 there. The expansion phase here ended here. We started the next one over here, and that was at about 75 months. So 69 months, 75 months. That's about a half year in difference, but still very close on this kind of scope. Here, from the end of this expansion phase to where we are now, we're on our 30th month. Now, I'm not saying that that means that we have to go down. I'm not saying that that means we can't go up. We can't expand. We are in an uptrend after all. But likely it doesn't happen now. And in fact, it likely doesn't happen for another couple of years or so. Maybe even longer than that. It could be 3 years, right? In the next bull market, which I'm kind of not excited for. Because the next bear market we're assuming will be taking place in 2026. It'll likely end either sometime in 2027. And then at that rate, 2 years from now, that's whenever the DXY would be looking to expand. We'd be starting our next bull market. That could really hurt the performance of the bull market, you guys. And let me actually expand on that. We're looking way ahead. We'll get back to the stuff that's more relevant, I promise you. But just looking ahead and referring it back to last cycle, right? The DXY here expanded while we were in our bull market, and that's why we had this double top. The DXY expanding literally prevented Bitcoin from growing. Whenever the DXY drops, as it did here, we get rapid expansion in Bitcoin's price. It was moving up already, but once it dropped, it moved up even faster, right? Here in the last cycle, we were moving up. Sure, we were consolidating. And when did we start moving up really fast? You guessed it, right when the DXY started to drop. Here, we're moving up. We're moving up, DXY is dropping, we're moving up, and then as soon as the DXY stops, that's whenever we move down. We have our first bear market ever, right? DXY is consolidating, we're in our bull market here, DXY starts to expand, and we begin our bear market in Bitcoin. So that's the relationship there, right? We are certainly not in an expansion phase now. We are certainly looking to go lower, and where I'm thinking that the DXY goes to is probably lower lows than this, from a low to a high here. I want to line it up with something that makes sense. Let's just see. Something like this. Would this make sense? Let me see. Do I have it, the line of best fit? There's a little bit of a blemish there, but I'm okay with that. I want to try and tighten it up. I think this makes the most sense to me. Support here, support. Ooh, we're super close. Let's get it right there. Come on now, super close. Got to refine it a little bit. There we go. I would think that we move down to the 1272. Yeah, right down at around 97.59 read, right around there. That's probably exactly where we're going to go. If not, we could find support at these lows here, but to some degree, one way or another, we're going lower. And obviously, moments like this in Bitcoin's history have resulted in the most bullish phases of the crypto cycles every single time. Even here, this very bullish phase of that cycle, it wasn't the most dramatic drop, but it was moving down. It wasn't expanding. So good things are coming. Good things are coming indeed, my friends. This is often not just an association that we make with Bitcoin, but with the whole crypto markets, right? Bitcoin's moving up. It's having its finale phase. Altcoins, the altcoin cycle tends to be in these finale phases as well. And a clear sign that we're starting that is the DXY dropping. If we look at the monthly RSI, we've gotten higher highs here. We do have higher highs there, in all fairness. So that doesn't really tell us anything. I was looking for some hidden bearish divergence, but we don't have that. To be fair, if we put a line right here at where we found resistance, we had found resistance back here. Look at this, guys. I'm kind of curious. Hold on. Can we identify all of these expansion phases? I'm going to delete the Bitcoin thing here real quick. I want to identify all these expansion phases when they started. One was right here. One was right here. Not every move up, just the very specific expansive phases that we went on, right? So in between, in these consolidation areas, your RSI on a monthly time frame found resistance at this line a lot. It went a little bit above this one, don't get me wrong, but you found resistance at this line a lot before you dropped to your cycle ending finale for Bitcoin. And we're doing that here now again. So that's kind of cool. This cyclicality in the RSI with the DXY on the monthly time frame. RSI with the DXY on the monthly time frame. We're gonna touch the sky. I don't know. it felt like it was rhyming, man. I think we're going to go down. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, man. It looks really good. The weekly RSI looks phenomenal for the downside as well. I guess it looks torrential to the downside, but phenomenal for crypto. There was one more thing that I wanted to cover, and I can't remember what it was. Yes, the Bitcoin dominance too. Something else that goes hand in hand with the finale phase of crypto. Even for Bitcoin, it's good for the Bitcoin dominance to go down because oftentimes we do see Bitcoin rising in these Bitcoin dominance drops. When the DXY and the dominance drop together, which, make no mistake, you guys, this was the high of this cycle for the dominance. We haven't seen the dominance drop yet. Week after week, I've been calling for it, waiting for it. We're going to get it eventually. We're going to see movements like this, but something that actually persists and continues to go down. The DXY dropping is a big deal, but the last piece of this puzzle is we need the Bitcoin dominance to drop. We have bearish divergence on a weekly time frame, lower highs here. We are overall getting lower lows to it. To me, it looks like we're in the kind of the very beginnings of a downward sloping trend in the weekly RSI. And that could be a big deal, you guys, because if we drop like this, again, we're going to compare Bitcoin here. BTC, actually, we should probably compare others. The total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. Treat this like the index for altcoins. This is the altcoin market index, okay, essentially. Whenever the dominance drops here. I know it looks like a bunch of noise, but just pay attention. Okay, I'll walk you through it. We're moving up. Altcoin markets are moving up. That's great. When did the pace really start to pick up? The pace really started to pick up once the dominance dropped. When did the altcoin markets top off? When the dominance bottomed out. Okay, here, next cycle, altcoin market's moving up. We're having a good time. It's fun. Hallelujah, whatever. And then boom, Bitcoin dominance drops. Altcoin market rips. It rips super hard. The most phenomenal growth that we saw without stuttering in the whole cycle. And then here with the Bitcoin dominance, we have just begun. We haven't even just begun dropping yet, but it's coming, you guys. I can smell it in the air. We're about to drop, and the altcoin market is about to rip harder than we've seen this whole cycle. You guys might hear me say this a lot, and I'm going to take away the charts now because I think I've gotten the point across. You might hear me say this a lot over the last week for a bunch of various different cryptos, that the next move is going to be the biggest move of the cycle for basically across the space. You can just pick a coin, a random coin. I would expect that they're about to see their biggest moves, shy of like just a random pump and dump. The biggest moves overall that we're going to see are coming this month of March, this month of April, continuing into the end of this cycle going on, okay? I didn't realize I had a pit stain there. That's pretty bad, man. I just realized that now, and of course I did that on the big screen, but it is the end of the video. Most people are gone by now, so hit the like button, say pit stain in the comment if you stayed here. That way I know that you watched the whole thing, and I will see you guys on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.